Well, from bank robberies to murder mysteries, it's hard to resist a real-life whodunit on the telly.
Yeah, true crime is the flavour of the month, and Nine Honey's TV addict and former crime reporter Shelley Horton is here to take us through some of her favourites. Shelley, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's start with confession tapes on Netflix. What do we need to know?
Okay, so this is all about people who've been wrongly convicted because they've actually confessed to a murder. Now, before I watched this doco, I didn't understand how anyone would confess to a murder. But now that I've seen the 6-part series, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often. Some of these cases were 20 years ago, so we had some police brutality or some techniques
Forced
that would not be used these days. But also it's just fascinating. And then the doco goes a step further and investigates the case to find out who really did do it.
Okay, Wrong Man is a new one.
This is brand new for Stan. It's just been launched in America, and it's, again, a really interesting look at dissecting some cases where they have convinced that they are innocent. So they go back with great detective work, with private investigators, and actually rework the case and see why these people have been put behind bars when, in fact, there's someone else who's at large.
Oh, interesting. Now, what about Manson Speaks? A lot of people are speaking about this.
Yeah, indeed. So this is basically looking at a cold case from the 1960s of a woman who was stabbed 150 times, but they never found who did it, but they suspected Manson. These detectives go back and start working that cold case, and I've got to say, what they do is they find one of Manson's fans who used to go to jail and record their conversations. So that's how you get Manson Speaks. It's actually his voice throughout this doco, which is a little bit eerie.
He was a nutter, wasn't he?
Yeah,
awful,
very
evil.
manipulative. Very manipulative.
Anything else quickly you're watching?
If you haven't seen it, go back to Netflix and see The Jinx. It's one of the best docos with one of the most incredible endings that you'll ever get. And Active Shooter on Stan.
What's that about?
Probably my favourite because it's got high production values and it's looking at some of the mass shootings in America, but looking at them from the point of view of the surviving victims and the family and the teachers at the school and first responders. Really interesting.
And one for the Super Nannies fans?
Jo Frost is looking at Killer Kids. Not my favourite. I think that she needs to go in the naughty corner for this, but it's a little bit of a cheap production, but interesting to look at the psychology of what would have a child commit murder.
There you go.
I love a bit of Nancy Drew.
It's so dark.
Plenty to binge on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And breaking news out of Melbourne, a truck has slammed into a tram in the